Troubleshooting. My Flexi-Pro tire gauge no longer holds a pressure reading. If the tire gauge no longer holds a pressure reading, this is usually due to two main reasons. The joint on the tire gauge stem directly above the bleed button and below the two grooves has become loose and pressure is escaping. Please note, this is not the joint where the Flexi hose meets the stem, which is designed to turn. Sometimes this can happen if the hose is repeatedly turned over 360 degrees and the joint below becomes loosened. To rectify, tighten the threaded joint on the stem of the tire gauge back up and check the gauge is now holding pressure. If so, optionally add a drop of thread lock or similar to the joint to prevent this happening again. Sometimes the pressure reading no longer holds on the display dial when the gauge is removed from the tire valve due to dust or dirt getting onto the valve seat inside the gauge stem. This is usually transferred from the tire valve or even via air from inside the tire. To rectify, make sure to hold the gauge vertically over a suitable clean container so as not to lose any small parts. Unscrew the tire gauge stem joint just above the bleed button and below the two grooves. Tap out the black and white valve seats and the spring, then set aside the hose. Give a gentle blow down the stem while pressing the bleed button on the side to clear any debris. Reassemble with the spring going in first, wide end down. Then the white plastic valve seat with the black rubber valve seat on top. Ensure the valve seats are positioned centrally. Then screw the hose back on to the stem and test. If this does not rectify the problem, dust may have gotten into the bleed button stem. As this is not accessible, a drop of lubricating oil down the bleed button stem can often solve the problem. We always stand by our products and our customers, so we will of course replace your tire pressure gauge if it proves to be defective in any way. However, this is rare. In fact, less than 2% of all tire gauges. So please, try these troubleshooting steps first.